distress call audio bombshell.
He was face down on the beach right at the water's edge.
If he was sent face down, that also doesn't make sense to me. If he's face down, wouldn't blood pool just by nature of gravity this way?
So right now, we've got a lot of questions, but as the second doctor says, this is all still pending investigation.
If this were your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened?
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down there.
What did we just hear? What was that? One more time, please.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down there.
Straight out to investigative reporter Crime Stories, Dave Mack. Did you just hear what I heard? Now, this has been transcribed, and this is the C-TOW dispatch call. Because, Dave, when I first heard this, I thought, has this been doctored? Is this real? Alexis Tereszcuk joining us out of L.A., just joining us now, Crime Stories investigative reporter as well. Alexis, the transcription, I want you to listen to it, Alexis, as we play it again. This is obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. It's not something we just found on TikTok. Listen.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down there.
Okay, Alexis Tereszcuk, jump in.
So it sounds like before the woman starts talking, the operator, everyone in the background is saying, "Is he dead? Nolan, wake the up." And so they are concerned about Nolan. They're saying, literally, is he dead? Nobody has ever, none of the kids on this boat have ever admitted that anybody said that they thought Nolan was dead on the boat. This is the first time that we are hearing this.
What is the chance that this has been doctored in some way, Alexis Tereszcuk? Because circulating on the internet was a scene where another young man was face down being attacked on the sand. That was not Nolan Wells. That's not Nolan Wells. Repeat. So there are bottom feeders that are fabricating evidence and circulating it, and it's whipping up all sorts of hostility. But regarding this, have you listened to it independently of any transcription?
I have listened to it. I've listened to it over and over, and I've listened to the audio where it's only the sound of the boy calling in and not the operator's voice. So it takes a little bit of the distraction out, and you can just hear the voices, the one friend saying, "Is he dead?" And we are hearing somebody very worried. They're saying, "Is he dead?" Somebody, you think you might have heard them say Nolan right before that. Somebody then says, "Oh my God." So the thing is, there have been a lot of false videos. People have said there was a video where Nolan was screaming, saying, "Give me my phone back." His friend says, "No, that's me in the video." There have been tons of AI generated videos and images and things, but this is the official audio from the organization.
Okay, let's hear the audio. to which you are referring. Listen. Now, it's my understanding, Dave Mack, that sound we just played is real sound. That is not doctored sound, but someone else claims that's them saying, give me my phone back. That is not Nolan Wells. Explain.
Well, Nancy, what we have is some friends that were also out on the boat trip out to Horn Island that were with Nolan Wells and were friends with Nolan Wells. Claim that was him, that he was the one that was saying, give me my phone back, that it wasn't Nolan Wells. So we've got an identification from the person who says, I was the one saying that. It wasn't Nolan Wells. And when you listen to the audio, Nancy, it does seem like it is not Nolan Wells saying, give me my phone back. It sounds like the guy claiming it.
Guys, a lot of confusion surrounding the audio that has been released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. This, as we are also learning about an offer made by the United Cajun Navy to Ben Crump, who is representing Nolan's family. To Marie Pereira joining us, a veteran criminal defense attorney. She is also a domestic violence expert and a registered nurse to boot. Marie, thank you for being with us tonight. Here's the deal. A lot has been made that Nolan Wells' family turned down an offer to have the boat searched with cadaver dogs, which, if they had hit on the boat, would suggest a dead body had been on the boat. Here is the fly in the ointment. It's not their boat. They can't give authority or permission or privilege for anybody to get on that boat and search the boat. So the fact that Crump's team didn't call back means nothing. They were not authorized to give authority or privilege or permission for anybody to board that boat, much less a cadaver dog or a scent dog.
You nailed it. And it's not his job or anybody else's to do what the police need to be investigating. After hearing that audio and knowing all the facts, they should be investigating this like it's a homicide and stop with the he say, she say from all of those kids on the boat who are presumed innocent at this moment, but I'm seeing and hearing guilt. Just off the fact that they even had his phone, that part. Why did you even have his telephone? I will never get over that because even as an adult, my phone is my life. If I'm staying back doing anything, I'm staying with my phone. So they need to be investigating all of those kids, interviewing them piece by piece, one at a time. And I promise you, somebody's going to break and tell the truth here.
Joining me is Marie Pereira. You know, in any criminal investigation, the first thing you do is get all the parties, all of them, and you separate them and you question them separately. You give them a waiver of their rights. They read it, they sign it, you read it out loud to them, you get all this on video, and you ask each one separately what happened before they have a chance to get together and talk. I'm not saying the friends are guilty. I'm not saying they're innocent. What I am saying is that would have been proper police procedure. For all we know, it did happen. It doesn't sound like it happened, but for all we know, it may have happened. The next thing you do is you ask them, would they willingly take a polygraph? Now, you and I, Marie Pereira, know that in a criminal case, polygraphs are not allowed into evidence unless they are stipulated, agreed to, before the polygraph is taken. It's the only way they come in. Now, in civil cases, they're allowed in. Think of O.J. Simpson. Didn't come in the criminal case, did come in the civil case, and P.S., he flunked it. That said, that's what you do. You separate them, you talk to them, you record it, you get their waiver of rights, you read their rights out loud on video, then you talk to them. Not hard. Next thing, you bring cadaver dogs and scent dogs on that boat. Now, scent dogs are going to hit on the boat anyway because they state Nolan was on the boat. So they're going to pick up Nolan's scent on that boat. Cadaver dog, whole nother story. And another thing, I would get a search warrant for it. You may not need a search warrant because a moving vehicle, as you know, Marie Pereira under U.S. v. Carroll, that was the case that goes all the way back to moonshine days, bootleggers. If it's exigent circumstances, in other words, the evidence could leave. In that case, it was a car that was weighted down in the back. And the prohibitionists thought there was moonshine in it, and there was, and they stopped the car because the evidence would have been gotten rid of. Same thing with the boat. You may not even need a search warrant, but you could get one. That said, that should have been done day one.
All they really want is justice. And justice is the pursuit of truth. And it just seems to be triggering people in such an odd way that I, quite frankly, don't understand.
Guys, I want to circle back not only to the beginning of that MR, Mississippi Department Marine Research call. I want you to hear more, a different segment of that SEATOW, that's SEATOW call. Listen.
All right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in
Okay.
17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor, or Fort Bayou Launch.
You know, it just struck me. He's got reception. Why is everybody saying you can't make calls and you can't take pictures because there's no reception? He's out in the middle of the water at those coordinates and he's got reception. Remember that? Remember that, Alexis Tereszczuk, Crime Stories investigative reporter? We were told at the beginning that items were not deleted off Nolan Wells' phone, but he wasn't posting because there wasn't reception. But they're out in the middle of the water and they've got reception.
They do. He has really good reception, and you can hear it clearly throughout this call. But the stories maybe have changed a few times. First, it was he didn't have any reception. The other was, nobody took their phones on the island because you had to wade through some water to get to it. And they even said, this is salt water, not fresh water, as if that matters to your phone when you drop it into it. But there are videos from the island. Even some of his friends are in videos from the island. So people clearly had their phone. And the other friend was arguing when we were talking about the videos that people worry about that have said that it was him. His friend was seen in the video screaming, "Give me back my phone." The phones were there. Other kids had their phones.
Okay, but before I discount claims that Nolan did not have reception, I don't know what carrier he had. Maybe he didn't have reception. My point is, why everybody's screaming to shut this investigation down, I don't know, because these are very rudimentary facts that we don't have the answers to. He is talking about the boat taking on water. We are sinking. Come and get us. I want this boat unsank and towed back. But interesting, we learned that very boat took multiple trips later that very same night.
So first, at 9:56 a.m., the boat leaves the original dock. It arrives at Horn Island at 11:14. So at around 4 o'clock, there is a call to the Coast Guard about the boat. NBC News got a hold of it.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Everybody's on board. So does that mean Nolan is on there? Who was on that boat? At 4:31, the boat leaves Horn Island and it is towed approximately 3 miles, and then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original dock, okay? They arrive at 5:44 p.m. So it looks like this is where Horn Island is, and this is where the original dock is that I am referring to. I looked it up, and El Camino Real Road is in Gulf Hills, Mississippi, which is right above Ocean Springs. So I'm wondering if this is the house where they got the phone. Now, the boat travels to Fort Bayou. At 6:06, the boat returns to the original dock. Then, from the original dock, the boat goes back to Fort Bayou, and then they go to the boat launch, and it is put onto the trailer and moved by the vehicle. Did they drop people off at the original dock, travel to Fort Bayou, pick somebody up, and go back to that original dock? And then From there, why was there an hour and 13-minute time gap? This boat was sinking hours before, and then they're just having it docked for an hour and 13 minutes. You would think they'd want to get that boat out of the water ASAP.
That's from the Real TikTok Detective and from NBC. So it doesn't sound to me, Dave Mack, that the boat was sinking, because they're going all over in the boat. So if the boat's not sinking, why the sea tow call? Why the distress call?
Yeah, Nancy, the one thing you have to remember on that first sea tow call, you hear them saying, we're in 30 feet of water, we're sinking, we need to be unsank and towed. But if you follow along with that communication, the sea tow company reaches out to a local captain nearby and says, hey, we've got a boat, can you go take a look? And the captain nearest to the boat says, hey, I just got a call from the owner of that boat. He says they've resolved the problem and don't need us anymore. So, and this happened during the course of 10 minutes, Nancy. So they're calling for help and then not calling for help. So something was definitely going on with this Triton 21-footer that they cannot explain.
We don't know the truth about the claim the boat was sinking, because it sure as heck doesn't look like it was. So why the sea tow call? That leads me back to the original sound from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. With me now is Todd Shipley, digital expert. Todd, listen to this.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
What'd you say? Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
Joining us tonight, Todd Shipley, digital cyber crime expert, former Detective Sergeant Reno, 25 years in law enforcement, and author of Surviving a Cyber Attack, and author of Investigating Internet Crimes, Solving Crimes in Cyberspace. You can find Todd at darkintel.info. Todd, how can I tell if this is real?
It was supposedly originally gotten from the government agency that supplied it. It doesn't sound like it's a complete video to me to begin with, because there should be more conversation. So where's the rest of the video would be the audio. Then we can start to begin to forensically look at the audio to try to figure out and pull out the voices in the background. Because the question is, what are the people saying in the background? And what exactly are they doing? What sounds are in the background? Are they actually at the place that they say they are, based on noise in the background and other things that are happening? So, I mean, we can look at a lot of those other things within the audio itself to try to identify what's there and what these people are saying. Pull out those individual quotes and try to isolate them based on what they're saying and slow it down, speed it up, that kind of thing, and pull out the background noise so that there's nothing else, so we can just isolate those things. There's several things that can be done with this.
Todd Shipley, if you had this audio, what would you do digitally to clean it up, enhance it, and isolate it?
Well, as I said, there's some of the things that we can do is we can isolate the different tones, the different signal pieces that are coming through there in the audio. We can take that and isolate the individual people that are in there and try to identify who they are. And that's done digitally. We can actually just isolate the different streams that are there and pull out those different audio pieces.
We can't sign off until we address the Katie issue. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Alexis Tereszchuk, Crime Stories investigative reporter, but the friends on the boat say Nolan wanted to stay behind because of a girl he just met named Katie. Katie has been found, and she says no. He said he was leaving with his friends. 100%. Do I have that much right?
100%
okay.
You have that.
Let's take a look at what Katie's sister says. Put it up on the screen, please. Katie had a conversation, assumed Nolan was getting ready to get on the boat that he came out in. Katie made it home. She was on another boat, different people, blah, 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 blah. Katie assumed the friends telling him to get on the boat would not have left him. Dave Mack, Crime Stories, what is Katie stating through her sister?
She is saying that Nolan did not stay with her on Horn Island, that she thought he was going back with the same people he came with. And by the way, got to add this, Nancy. Katie McCormick has been working with investigators, has been fully cooperative with them, the Wells family, and she says flat out that he did not stay with her. He went back.